Welcome to Motorcycle Ways. Today I'm going to talk about 5 things that may help with getting out on your bike during the winter months. Not everybody can get out during the winter, of course, due to weather conditions. But if you're one of the lucky ones that can, then here are 5 tips that might help. So let's get started. Number 1 is tires. What tire tread depth have you got on your tires? Is it sufficient? It should be a minimum of 1 millimeters in this country. That's the law anyways, but it's better to have it more than that. So you need the grip. But you have to remember that the contact with your road surface on a motorcycle tire is very small. It's only the size of a credit card really at any one time. So you need to have the essential grip, and across the tire, in the center of the tire, it shouldn't be worn down any more than the outside, and the outside needs to be in good condition as well, because when you lean over, it's just this part of the tire that's gripping the road when you're taking a turn and you're leaned over. So you need to have that grip there, and the essential grooves that lets the water out during slippy conditions. So you'll have a lot of that during winter months, and you may have oily conditions on the road, or even ice or frost, snow. So very important to have the maximum grip on your tires, and your tires during the winter will be cold and hard rather than during the hot summer months where your tires heat up. So they're going to be cold a lot during the winter. So you mightn't have as good a grip as what you would in warm weather. So very important to have good tires on for the winter months. And depending on whether you do a lot of off-road or that, you need suitable tires as well. Whereas I don't do off-road really. I'm on the tarmac nearly all the time, so that's why I have road tires on. And I make sure there's good grip on them and they're not excessively worn. So number 2, as we look at the handlebars here, heated grips I think are essential, especially during the winter months, because the first thing to get cold will be our hands, and heated grips can make a big difference. Here I have the genuine Honda heated grips on this Honda CB 500X, but there's no need to go to that expense. They are expensive, the genuine ones. So the likes of Oxford and that, you can get Oxford heated grips, which you buy them a lot more reasonable, and they do the same job. Just to keep your hands warm, because otherwise your hands will be the first thing to get cold, and it's very hard to concentrate when your hands are cold or operate the brake or the clutch lever. And the gloves, you can get gloves, heated gloves as well. And if you don't have the heated grips, which they're expensive, but they're worth having. But you can actually do both gloves and heated grips, which will keep your hands nice and warm. But definitely one or the other are essential when you're out during the winter months, so that you don't lose concentration in that, with your hands getting so cold and numb that you can't operate the levers and that. So definitely a worthwhile investment. And while we're talking about the hands, hand guards here are something else which are essential, because they will help keep your hands warm, protect your hands. So when you don't have the direct cold wind hitting your hand, you have some bit of protection there of a guard that'll bring the wind around it somewhat. And they're definitely a good investment, and very reasonable to buy, the hand guards. So they are worth purchasing. Number 3 is lights. Do you have good lights on your bike? And are they good enough for out in the winter months in the dark that you can see the road well ahead? On this CB500X, I found that the headlight just wasn't quite good enough, so I do have auxiliary lights on it. I didn't fit them myself, actually. They were on the bike when I got it, but I find they're very useful indeed, because without them, when you switch them off, the headlight just isn't quite good enough to shine that distance ahead and give you the visibility that you need at night. So the auxiliary lights definitely do help, and as well as that, make you visible to others. And the rear light, of course, as well, is essential to make sure that it's in working order and you can be seen in the distance ahead with vehicles travelling up behind you. So very important to be lit up and be seen. Number 4 is clothing. Visibility. Can you be seen? Something high vis, reflective, that you can be seen from a distance. Very important. And as well as that, something that's windproof and waterproof. From your boots to your helmet, you need to be waterproof really when you're out in the winter months, because you will get wet, and especially if you're in my country, you will anyways, because getting wet out on the bike is miserable, and you don't want it soaking in through you and ending up getting ill from it. So it's very important that they're waterproof and windproof to keep the cold out, and high vis so that you will be seen by others. And so think about the clothing before you get on the bike. Is it suitable for the day ahead? During the winter, you probably just need one gear that has to be waterproof and windproof. And so it's worth, it can be expensive, of course, to get kitted out with all that gear, but it is essential and it is worth it for your safety and well-being. So that leaves us with number 5, which is a general check over of your bike fluid levels, oil, coolant and brake fluid, just to make sure they're all topped up and that you don't get stuck out on the road. Especially during the winter with your coolant level, make sure it's coolant that's in it, so that if you get really low temperatures, that it doesn't freeze, that's not just water that's in the coolant system. So have that checked that you have coolant, the proper coolant in your bike. And we'll just take a look at the levels now. So on the Honda CB500X, the oil level can be checked down here in the glass window on the side, which is the case with a lot of motorcycles. So you can see the glass window there, and you can see the eye level inside. There's 2 marks either side, and the eye level is just up under the marks. So that's our oil. That's with the bike sitting on as flat, sitting straight and cold. The engine is cold at the moment. So that's the eye level. So now if we go around to the other side of the bike, we can check the coolant level. And down the left hand side of the bike here, you have to check it from underneath. Basically here, you go down and you can see the tank in there. I'll just get the camera in there. You can see the tank there with the fluid level in it. That's just between the 2 lines there. So just give the bike a shake. You can see the coolant level moving back there. So that's the coolant. And the last level to check is the brake fluid. So here we have the front brake fluid reservoir there. You can see in the glass window that's full with fluid. That needs to be up to the top there, so you can see that's full. That's the front reservoir. And looking at the back brake fluid reservoir down here, we can see it there. We have the lower and upper level, so our fluid level is up to there, so that's fine. So that's all our levels checked and okay. So there we have 5 tips to help keep your motorcycle in order over the winter months and that you are content while out and about on the road. So that's it for this one, and thank you very much for watching. I'll see you on the next one.